guys, it's Lucy, and today I'm going to be doing a video on some of the authors that I don't plan on reading from again. This kind of goes with one of my recent previous videos where I talked about some authors that I want to read more from. These are authors that I would like to not read more from. I would prefer not to read any more of their books. So, as you can tell, this is probably going to be a negative video. So, if you don't like that kind of video, please be sure to exit. I'm going to tell you what book I read by them, and if you think like they have another book that is really different from what I did read, then please be sure to let me know and maybe I will give them a chance. But for now, I'm staying away from books written by these authors, and these are in no particular order, so let's get into it. First we have Gregory Maguire. The book I read by him was Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, and this was one of my least favorite books. Like the first year I was on BookTube, it was in that video, and I really didn't like it. I thought it was boring, too drawn out, and didn't make a whole lot of sense. And so the other books that I know he's written are like the sequels in that series, so I have no interest in continuing that series, so that's definitely out. And then I know he's written kind of an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I really don't trust him to write retellings after reading Wicked, so I have no interest in reading that. But yeah, I just don't trust him to like write a book that I will enjoy. So yeah, I just really didn't like Wicked at all. Next we have someone very controversial. I've mentioned this a couple of times, and so the author I'm talking about is Cassandra Clare. I have no intention to read anything else she writes. I read City of Bones and City of Ashes, I think that's what they're called, the first two books in the Mortal Instruments series, and I didn't really enjoy them. The first one was kind of okay, and then the second one I really didn't like, and I don't really want to continue in that series. And then I thought about reading the Infernal Devices, because everyone says that it's so much better, but I've also heard that it's basically the same as the Mortal Instruments series, just set in the past, so I don't really want to read that anymore. And all the hype keeps getting to me, and I like go back on it. I'm like, oh, maybe I do want to read it, but then I think back to reading City of Ashes, and I kind of did this whole review where I look orange because it's old. It's one of my first reviews, but I'll link it down below in case you're interested. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan, and Cassandra Clare has a whole lot of like drama going on with her authorship and things like that I don't need in my life, so I will not be reading any more books by her. Next, we're going to talk about Andrew Smith. The book I read by him was Winger. I didn't like it. This was also one of my least favorite books. I think the same year I read City of Ashes, so that video will be down below. I didn't like the writing, I didn't like the characterization of the characters, and I didn't like the way certain characters were used in the plot. Like, I felt like Winger put me off so much. I don't want to read any more by him, and I know Andrew Smith does kind of weird realistic fiction. I know that Grasshopper Jungle is a book that exists by him, and I was kind of intrigued by it because I think it's about like locusts just like come, or like grasshoppers just like take over the world maybe, or something like that, or a city or something. And all of his books have like intriguing synopsises, but I just, after reading Winger and going through the plot twist that I really did not like, I just don't think I can put myself through the possibility of that again, so I don't want to read any more of his books. Next, we have probably another pretty popular author, and that is Matthew Quick. The book I read by him was Silver Linings Playbook, definitely his most popular one. It was a movie. I was not a fan of it because two things: I hate football, which I guess I should have realized how much about football was in Silver Linings Playbook, because it is, I guess playbooks are used for football. I had not realized that when I picked it up because everyone else was just talking about how great it was, and Jennifer Lawrence was in the movie and blah blah blah. I hate football, so that was one of the reasons. I don't hate football, but I did not enjoy reading about it. And I also didn't like the characterization of the main character. He felt very not quite right. I know what he was supposed to be portraying, and I just didn't feel like it was very realistic. I know Matthew Quick's other books tend to have similar main characters, at least from what I've heard and from what I've read, some synopsises, so I don't want to pick up any more of his books. I have been kind of intrigued by some of them, but I'm just not inclined to pick them up or pay money for them. Maybe one day I'll read them from the library. It's really not anywhere on my priority list, really. And the last but not least author that I don't plan to read from again is E.K. Johnston. This author is definitely the most flexible of the authors on this list. I'm the most inclined to pick up a book by her, but I'm still not very inclined. The book I read by her was Exit Pursued by a Bear, and it was just mostly boring. Everything about it felt really bland. I don't think it was very well executed. I think when I read it, I gave it 3.5 stars, but I definitely lowered that to a 3. I'm most inclined to pick up another book by her just to see if she's gotten better, because I don't think that was her first book, which makes me less inclined again. But, you know, authors do progress as they write books, or they're supposed to. And I think she wrote 1,000 Nights, which is supposed to be a retelling of 1,001 Nights, or Arabian Nights, whatever you call that series of fairy tales. And I saw a lot of it on BookTube, and I was intrigued by it, but after I read Exit Pursued by a Bear, I'm much less intrigued to read it, so we'll see if I ever get to it. So those are 5 authors that I have no intention to read any more of their books. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about any of these books, leave a comment down below. If you love them, you can tell me why you love them, or if you disagree with my opinions, feel free to tell me, just, you know, in a nice way, and we can talk about it in the comments. Or if you agree with me and you also don't want to read books by these authors, also let me know so we can bond over it. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!